Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Jesse, your DM.
Cody playing Lazarus.
Brennan playing Diz.
Mike playing Nim.
Britt playing Kenna.
And we are Double Doubles and Dragons. We're a group of goofy Canadians that have gotten together to play a little D&D. Sometimes we will say things that are inoffensive. We mean them as jokes, of course, and they're certainly funny to us, but some people may find this offensive. If you do, we apologize, but we don't want any hate mail about it. So just don't listen, okay? Let's jump right into the action. Okay, everybody, welcome back. We'll try to cover off what happened last session pretty quickly. I know people are kind of excited to figure out what the hell they want to do with these various situations. We've got two kind of high-tense situations going on right now. First, Dis and Nim have gone to go check out a warehouse where some art projects are being done, which loosely translated to about 12 virgin girls locked in a basement whose blood is being harvested for some sort of red, powdery, chalk-like material. Dis and Nim have found a girl that they believe might look like Mary. They're honestly not sure. But nevertheless, small virgin women in a basement is probably something that needs to be taken care of, whether Mary's down there or not. In the meantime, Lazarus was keeping an eye on the back gate and thought he saw some suspicious activity going on. He went to check it out after making sure a guard would cover his spot and came back to that guard being dead. And since then, the entire manor's been put into lockdown, with rumors swirling that assassins are, incoming, and there may be as many as 2 of them that Lazarus has seen so far from bushes and that sort of thing. And Kenna just sneakily kind of raised herself up out of the cabinet she was hiding in to go take a look around. I think if it's all right, we'll pick up with Kenna. So, Kenna, you stand up, you take a look around. What are you looking for?
Anything that is not something I would recognize. So obviously I know the house is in lockdown, so I'm looking for people that are not where they're supposed to be.
Okay.
Gauging the situation with the guards at the pantry, just if they're still just doing that.
Sure.
And I also want to sneakily turn down the stove.
Okay. So we'll start, you can sneakily turn down the stove while you're doing the other activities, I suspect. So give us a perception check.
18.
And one more stealth check if you would, now that you're moving around.
It's going to be a 34.
Okay. So, you take a look around as you're turning down the stove. The kitchen is pretty quiet, but you can hear a lot of bootsteps and movement outside as well as inside. There definitely seems to be a lot of activity going on. The 2 guards that are guarding the pantry are both still there. They both seem to be very ready. They're kind of on high alert. You do notice one of them his eyes kind of flick towards where you are. But other than that kind of quick, recognition of looking over that direction, he doesn't react otherwise.
Okay.
You're not sure what that means, but it is just something you notice him do.
Okay. Nothing else out of place?
Nothing else.
Okay. So, and I don't see anyone else other than the guards?
No, the kitchen is quiet aside from them.
Okay, so if I ducked down behind the counter, would I not be seen? Unless people...
By them?
By, yeah.
Yeah, if you duck behind the counter, the guards in the pantry wouldn't be able to see you.
Okay, so I would like to duck behind the counter and then I want to shapeshift.
Okay, so you duck behind the counter, you shapeshift. What do you shapeshift into?
A mouse.
Okay, so you poof, you're a little mouse.
Yeah.
Where does little sneaky mouse Kenna go?
Everywhere.
Okay.
So I think I want to leave the kitchen and just kind of survey, just the rooms that are directly adjacent to the kitchen.
Okay.
So just kind of doing a perimeter check.
Sure.
Also very sneakily as a mouse.
Of course. We'll take the rolls that you have before rather than having you roll multiple times. And you run out into kind of the main hallway that leads into the kitchen. And almost immediately you see 2 individuals making their way down the hallway. Both are guardsmen, and they're kind of moving forward. You do notice both of them kind of look down as you scurry by, mouse formed. But one of them just kind of mumbles something along the lines of, rodents in the kitchen. And then they both split off and go into 2 side rooms.
Okay. Interesting.
Seems like they're checking the rooms.
I recognize these guards?
Do a history check.
I don't recognize jack shit. 11.
You've been spending a lot of time with the girls and not a lot of time with the guards, so you definitely, by any stretch of the imagination, don't know all of them. That being said, you don't recognize these ones.
Okay. Okay, I'll just keep doing my search then.
Okay. So where you're just going to kind of run down the hallway, check the rooms they went into, because they are technically the two closest to the kitchen.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We'll come back to you in a second. Lazarus, you are out in the garden. You did a survival check to see if you could track where these guys, were going. What'd you come up with on the roll?
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah, sorry, you rolled before break. If you don't remember, just re-roll it. It's fine.
Oh, well, that's what I was sitting at anyways. 11.
Okay. So you start looking around, and survival in this area is hard because, of course, there's the girls' footprints everywhere. Guards have been running around ever since the alarm went off. Nevertheless, out of those two depressions, you do see boot marks that are moving towards the house. So it seems clear to you anyway that they didn't split off down the wall or anything. They very clearly headed more or less directly for the building.
Alright, well, I guess I'll try and follow them through and pick out where they went into the building, I guess.
Sure, absolutely. Give it one more survival check. With advantage, you do have a trail. You're just kind of you're trying to pick up specifically.
20.
Okay. Kenna, you were going into one of the rooms. Which room, left or right from your direction?
Left.
Okay, fair enough. I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw. Lazarus, you move through and you kind of follow around the one pool where one of the tracks seems to be going in. Because the grass there is wetter, it's kind of holding the depressions a little better. And unless you're mistaken, it kind of looks like they skirted the pool and then headed right for one of the windows that used to be open that led into one of the ground floor rooms. Given the house's position, it's about 4 rooms down from the kitchen, if you think about it kind of that way. The kitchen's in the back left corner, and this one's about 3 windows down from that.
Okay, so then I suppose I catch the guards, or whatever the guards have been paying attention to thus far.
2 of them have been walking with you and just trying to help out.
Then I suppose we'll just clarify for them that there most likely are 2 inside, starting at ground level.
Okay, they do hand signal back to the main guy, and he gives what do we do with that?
And then wait for Lazarus to get back inside now.
That looks like what he's trying to figure out is whether or not it's worth dropping the veil or not. He kind of walks up
Lazarus
and
trying to convince him, says it looks like they're already inside.
Roll a persuasion.
I'm gonna use inspiration.
Okay. Lazarus uses the inspiration. Kenna, in the meantime, what was your dexterity save?
18.
Okay. So you scurry in after one of these guys that walked into the room, and as soon as you kind of cross the threshold, you don't see the guy in the room. You're kind of wait, where did he go? And as you're looking around for him, a boot just comes in from the side. You try to dodge out of the way, but whoever it is fast. And the boot connects in the middle of your little mouse body and just punts you towards the corner of the room.
So I'm probably out of form.
Yeah, I think you only have 1 HP in that. So yeah, there's just that kick, and in midair you poof out and you land against the wall. Do a dexterity save for the landing, see if you take any damage.
23.
Okay, you do manage to kind of safety fall. You get your arms out, you kind of slow the momentum and slow down the concussion. So you don't take any damage, but you are dazed for a moment. And in that moment where you're kind of, what the hell just hit me? The door to the room closes. And the guard that was in there with you is just kind of looking over, and he kind of gives a quick, I thought that mouse looked a little too even. Just a little too, the ideal version of a mouse, I guess is his point. If we were going to gauge this mouse, it may have been a 20 out of 20 mouse.
Shit.
This mouse is too perfect.
No little notches on the ears, nothing. In the meantime, Lazarus, your persuasion roll.
21.
Okay. He looks at you and, he gives you that, can I trust this guy face? And he thinks, it takes 3 minutes to drop the veil, 5 to put it back up. You're sure?
That probably makes Lazarus hop on the spot a bit. This one can only defend Mr. Wallace if he's beside him.
There. Alright. He does a couple hand signals. we've got 2 minutes and 59 seconds before the veil drops.
I guess I asked for some guards to do on the outside to do the window rotations.
Okay.
Like continue the circle and look for information through the ground, and I guess and the guards at the top of the 3 second story windows and shit.
Sure, absolutely. So you signal that the captain, the one that's been kind of in charge of the walls, as he's kind of waiting there with you for a moment, you hear him almost muse to himself. I still can't figure out how they got past the warding glyph on the window. But in that moment, Kenna, you are on the ground in the room alone with this guardsman who's just kind of given you this, something wasn't right about that mouse line. And he just kind of looks down. So, one of the guards? You're a little pretty to be a guard, but I don't see you in scanty clothing.
Not everyone in here has to be scantily clad.
So you are a guard.
I didn't say that either, now did I?
Well, which is it? Are you a whore or a guard?
I'm neither.
Well, then I guess I'll have to just kill you a little. And he pulls out 2 blades.
Perfect. Okay. Kenna's first reaction is she would summon animals.
Okay, we'll roll
After
initiative.
yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I was going to talk about these later, but I did switch spells.
That's fine. As long as it happened during a long rest, that's fine.
But one of them is relevant here, so is it alright if I try it?
What did you switch?
Detect magic.
Detect magic. Yeah, as long as you realistically did it,
Yeah, I've got them
before
set up.
today.
Yeah, I've got them
That's
set
that's
up.
fine with me.
So yeah, once you talk about the glyph, I guess I'll cast detect magic on myself and just to see if they're still there, or...
No, that sounds perfectly fine.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Have I been in the kitchen all day?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you were trying to,
I need to know how many
Getting
spell
good.
slots I have.
Yeah, getting good with the girls. I doubt you needed to use any spell slots for, in theory, to peel potatoes. At least I would hope you're not that bad at peeling potatoes.
I don't think... No, Kenna has cooked before.
Like, chop the potato horribly, and you're just like, druid craft to make it grow back into the right shape a little.
Right. Can I druid craft to, peel potatoes?
We'd have to look at that another time, I guess.
Mending.
Mending?
Be kind of a reverse mending,
It would be
really.
reverse mending, yeah.
Okay, so, Lazarus, so your conversation happened at the same time Kenna was doing a lot of her stuff, so you don't necessarily have 3 minutes to wait before you can get inside. But I am going to say I've got a certain number of turns in mind for how long you're going to take. But I am going to have you roll initiative so that we do know where you are, just in case you get wind of Kenna in trouble. Not that she has her ring to tell you she's in trouble.
Sure don't.
So,
Wallace.
15.
15? Okay. Sorry, Kenna, what was yours?
12?
Okay, so Lazarus with 15.
11? I lied, it was 11.
11? Okay.
I'm
I mean,
not
12's fine.
It was 12!
Okay. Put your marker down. The room's not very big and it's mostly square. I'm just going to have the distance between the two of you. And I'm going to use something Nim brought over for new battle tokens for us.
That's what I told you. They look terrible.
We'll say this is the assassin. He looks a little small, but he packs a punch.
Sure he does.
I mean, how long has it been since you guys fought assassins?
Never.
Did you
Devrin?
forget their punch?
Devrin doesn't forget.
I've never fought an assassin.
Devrin got one shot.
Okay.
They actually got the sneak up and just opened up and crit him from the back.
At least on the plus side, Kenna isn't exactly going to get snuck up on in this case.
Well, she got booted.
Didn't get hurt, though.
Okay, so we have the roll. The assassin goes first.
Yeah.
He pulls out both weapons, and he burns the bonus action. Just be like, so, where do you want me to cut you first?
Not the face.
This is always so helpful.
My precious modeling career.
I don't care about my looks. You gotta get me first.
Hey, fine. And he just lunges towards you.
Yeah.
He'll move up into melee range. When an assassin attacks you, if you haven't gotten a turn yet, like if he goes first, he gets advantage on the attack. And if he hits, it's a crit.
Cool.
Yep.
Super cool.
So we will do. I think he pulled his 2 short swords, and is just gonna take a swing at you.
Cool.
Well, 2 swings actually. He gets 2 swings per attack.
Okay.
Do you have anything that can like I need to tell you got hit, but like not the number? Okay, first one's a 26.
That hits.
Second one's only an 11.
Does not hit.
By the way, have you guys been wearing your armor? You are guards,
Yeah.
so like I didn't necessarily assume you wouldn't have anything. Although Lazarus, it's up to you whether or not you're wearing your carapace armor or not.
It's warm, but it's got that thing covering.
Right. Okay. So only one of the attacks hit, but it is a crit.
Yeah.
I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Yep.
Ooh, poison daggers.
I'd recommend rolling high.
She's got next one, so.
3.
Okay, you save. So you take 13 piercing damage as he gives you a quick stab with the short sword. The one you manage to get just enough out of the way of that it slips under your arm, but the other one slices into your side when you try to do the same move.
Okay.
You do for a moment feel your knees kind of buckle out from under you as your whole body goes numb, but then you kind of shake it off in that druidic constitution. You kind of repel whatever it is naturally. Okay. Or no, sorry, you take half when you repel it successfully. My bad.
So half 13?
No, half of the poison roll.
Okay.
So you have extra damage.
Yes, right.
It's one of these.
You take 14 poison damage as your body shrugs off most of the poison, but not all of it.
Okay.
And feeling very confident in himself, the assassin kind of leans in when he finishes the strike and goes, "Fast enough?" And then kind of takes like that, just that little lean back and just kind of gets ready.
Okay.
It would be Lazarus's turn. Lazarus, the detect magic would have gone off at this point. So for this turn, what you realize is the magic for the window right next to this one on either side still have their wards in place. But this one, the magic is completely gone. It's definitely been dispelled in some way.
So, okay. Then I shout that out and be like, the glyph is gone. You need to bring down the veil.
Okay, and they've been dropping it. They're in the process of dropping it.
I just confirm that, the glyph is not there.
Okay, and that definitely, that seems to kind of give them all the proof they need, and people start grouping up at the entrances, like the window and the doors, kind of waiting for the veil to drop.
Lazarus is like,
The veil, when you poke at it, it is very much a physical barrier. Like, if you do touch it, it's just kind of like poking through, like a big saran wrap barrier.
I'm supposed to throw up that, Lazarus doesn't suppose he can, step through it.
I mean, you could try.
I'll shout that up to the mage and see what they know what happens.
Yeah, I mean, you can shout up. One of them kind of shouts down, "If it gets weak enough, you could probably strong arm through."
I'll try Misty stepping through it.
Okay. Try Misty stepping through it.
I'm just that little. I know there's
totally.
just that 5 feet.
Roll a luck roll. Let's see if it's dropped enough.
17?
Okay. You close your eyes and you say...
please let this work.
You kind of do the misty step and you feel the thwomp feeling and you just kind of pop one eye open, you look around, you're like, "I'm in the house!"
Alright. I suppose at that point...
you'd have your movement left at this point.
Yeah, I start taking off through the house and I suppose trying to collect what's going on.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you just run out into the hall and you start kind of yelling. We'll get your reply on your next turn.
Okay.
In that case, we go to Kenna. So yeah, you've been hit. The guy's just kind of standing there menacing you.
pissed at that I got hit. But yeah, I would make my animals.
Okay.
Summon animals.
What challenge rating?
Quarter. 4 and a quarter.
4 1/4. Okay.
Actually, how big is the room I'm in?
It's about 20 by 20.
It's not a huge room.
I mean, it's bigger than this room.
Yeah, 4.
Okay.
That assassin's about to be outnumbered.
Yeah.
Lock the door. Lock the door.
Lock
Yeah.
the doors!
I would get them
okay.
to surround him best.
Type of beast. And we need quarter challenge rating for 4 of them. Alright, quite a few of those. Let's see what we get via random number. And more importantly, let's see if the random number I just rolled, I have the card easily available.
Oh shit, I lied. It's 4 and a half.
4 1/2?
Yeah.
Okay. 4 1/2
Good thing I have that written down. Idiot.
Alright, I think you're pretty accustomed to summoning black bears.
I sure am.
And do you have the stats available? If not, I've got the card.
I can pull them up.
Okay. Yeah, so you summon 4 black bears.
Perfect.
There's that very... what do you yell for summoning the animals?
I think I always yell, "Give me animals!"
And animals. Okay, and then we'll put down... Does anybody got dice handy? We'll put down the summoned animals. Perfect. Thank you. Look at that, 4 right off the bat.
Damn.
So where in the general area do you try to put them?
Surrounding him.
As best you can?
Yeah, like,
Sounds
and
good.
yeah.
I mean, I think your guys can manage that. Something like that. So yeah, kind of immediately you throw up your hands, give me animals! And just suddenly 4 black bears just poof, 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 all around the guy.
Perfect.
What's his face?
He kind of like, there definitely is that moment of like shock, but then he kind of just narrows his eyes right at Kenna.
Okay, well, he knows how that works, at least.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get there.
Well, it's okay. And then I'll bonus action Shillelagh.
Okay, so you say...
I don't know what I say for Shillelagh.
It doesn't matter, whatever you want to.
Be like, it's clubbing time.
It's clobbering time!
Assassinating me? That's a bad one.
Oh, and roll the initiative for your bears.
Right.
First.
Oh, they got a nat 20.
Okay. What's bear initiative? What's their plus to
dex.
dexterity?
0.
Okay, so
So
just
20.
20. Okay. So
I'm
bears,
just the assassin.
we'll go there.
Burrs.
Burrs. So yeah, they all pop up, and I assume you say attack the dude that just hit me in the face.
Attack that guy and don't let him get out of the room.
Okay.
2
Sounds
directions.
good. 2 directions. Anything else from Kenna? Or sorry, you're it springs to life with that
Yeah.
blackish, glowing blue barbed wire we talk about every time your shillelagh activates. You're just like, you're ready.
Yeah.
Fucking ready to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. It'd be the assassin's turn next. He just kind of he does that look around the room and he goes, that's a pretty good trick. Of course, all I have to do to make him go away is kill you, which is what I was going to do anyway. But it seems like I maybe should have sneak attacked you after all. He's trying to draw out the fight. And he takes 2 swings at you.
Okay.
That one will be a 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, and that one is a 8.
Does not hit.
No more
Okay.
autocrits now, too.
Roll a Constitution save again. This one won't be a crit, by the way, either, because you've had your turn now, and he doesn't get his little auto crit.
16 for con save.
Okay, just cleared it.
I'm really happy I'm a Connie person. Do I also... Oh, because I'm getting hit, do I need to roll a con for my Bears.
No, or yes, you will.
Well, once the damage comes through.
Yeah, just wait for the damage. I always forget if it's physical damage plus poison. Does she do 2 con saves, or is it rolled together with the damage added
It should be separate for each
damage type? That feels right. I'll double check on our next break just to be sure. But in the meantime, so you take 9 piercing damage.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Like,
see.
in
I'm not
Paladin
sure.
Smite, that's calculated together for like concentration and stuff.
That's true. I do feel like maybe they're together. I mean, we'll write it down anyway, and we'll do it together or separate in a
It's like
second.
how hard it hits you is trying to determine how hard it is to keep your concentrations.
Yeah, exactly. And by pure happenstance, you also take 14 poison damage again. Already halved.
Okay.
So if we do them together, that will be 23.
Okay, yeah, it says for separate sources, so if it's just one stab, that makes it...
It's one stab, it just doesn't...
So if both daggers hit, then it would be 2
cold. Okay, so yeah, you have to beat... God, how does that work for the con saves again?
11
It's...
or 12.
Yeah.
Okay, I have advantage. Because I have Warcaster.
Or no, you have to roll, what, over 13 for a 23?
Over 11. Or no, over 12.
Over 12.
It's just flat roll or add my con to it?
You add your con to it.
Okay, I very much succeeded on the first one.
Okay. So once again, you manage to, like, dodge out of the way of one of the blades, this time by just kind of doing a very nice sidestep and kind of spinning, but the other one, he does catch you across the arm, and once again, you do feel like your knees start to give out under you, but your natural druid conniness saves you once again.
Okay.
And he just kind of, like, as he pulls back, he goes, well, better hope they kill me, huh?
We'll get there. No, I'm not worried.
She's just going like full heal back up and be
Yeah.
like, no, whatever.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, totally, right?
It's 100% what I'm going to do.
The guy doesn't know she's a healer necessarily, so he's a little cocky. And we are at bears then.
Okay. So they all get a multi-attack.
Yep.
Okay. So, are they all numbered differently?
Yeah.
They are. 1, 2, perfect. We'll start with number 1.
Yep, that's fine.
So, first one. 15 for first.
15 is a hit.
The second one is definitely Biff. I rolled a 4. It's not going to happen.
Just keep doing the rolls. I'll keep track of how many hits you do, and then you can
Okay.
do all the attacks and as one big group.
Okay, I'll just write down bites versus claws.
Okay.
So I know the difference. 18.
18 is a hit. One of the other ones was a whiff, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 2 hits, 2 whiffs.
20.
Hit.
Oh, crit.
Okay. 3 hits and a crit.
2 more rolls. 10.
Miss.
21.
Hit. 4 hits and a crit.
4 hits and a crit.
Get ready to write down some HP loss. I mean, such as you do.
I mean, he is up against, it is a 5v1 right now, so.
Oh, totally. No, I mean, this kind of stuff happens.
16 from bites.
Okay.
I don't need to roll the table for my bear's critting, or do I?
No, summons don't use the crit table.
Okay. Just double damage on that one.
Yep. That would run away from us way too quickly.
Like, we all just play summoning builds.
Yeah, exactly. And just
Farm for
fish
crits.
for those crits.
Can you imagine a party of 4 druids all summoning druids?
15
15 for the other
from
one?
the yeah.
I mean, honestly, I almost did something like that for one of the side campaigns we ran. Okay, that is 31 damage total.
Good job, little bears.
Da bears.
How's he looking?
Let's see. Somewhere around half, seems like. Okay. Is that the end of the bear's turn? You'll have him just kind of staying, surrounding him?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Lazarus, you are in the room, you've ran out into the hallway, and you've kind of tried to figure out what was going on. What you get back is nobody's sure where they are inside. Everybody's just freaking out trying to figure out where these people are.
Okay. I suppose my first reaction then, with no lead, would be to go verify. I'm on the ground floor, and that's where the kitchen is, right?
Correct.
I'll check the kitchen guards first, make sure they're still there, and then go head to Mr. Wallace's, I guess.
Okay, so you sprint down the hallway.
Depends if I hear it.
Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to figure out. Roll a luck roll for me real quick. There's something that's happening. I'm just not sure if you see it or not.
11?
Okay. That tells me which hallway you're in. Okay. You run down, you sprint into the kitchen. You've got enough movement speed for that if you sprint.
Yeah.
Okay. You pop in, and both guards kind of they do the whoa, they freak out.
Yeah.
This huge lizard just barrels into the kitchen, and they all both of them just kind of line up.
And Lazarus is like, we're good.
And kind of, oh, so far.
Back out.
Okay. You're going to head up to where Wallace is.
Unless something else gives me an indication.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll have you, so you'll, back the way you came?
I suppose that's where the stairs are.
There's two ways to get to the stairs. You can go either direction.
I'll take a direction I haven't taken yet.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, so... Covered your luck roll after all. You don't have enough movement to, run any further at this point, but you do have enough to get to the door and pop the door open. You pop the door open into that hallway, and as you pop the door open, you see a guard who's just he's finished checking a room. He steps out into the hallway, kind of looks, sees you, and gives you kind of a quick, hey, and then pushes into the doorway across the hall.
Okay.
And steps in through there.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did the guard give me a hey?
He gave you, the wave, the kind of, how's it going?
Can I insight that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You could history check it, too. You know more guards than Kenna does.
Okay, insight is 18.
Okay.
History is 13.
Okay.
Because, everyone's kind of all stiff, and then this guy's just
Yeah, everybody else is, really on their heels, they're not sure what's going on. This guy seems really calm. That also, as you kind of, look, the armor's right. He's got the right uniform, but you're kind of I'm not sure I've seen that guy yet.
Alright, I started moving towards where I saw that.
You have no movement left this turn, but yeah, fair enough. Okay, that'll take us to Kenna. So, Kenna, just as your turn starts, you watch the door open, and another guard, kind of looks inside, and he's got that look on his face, bears. And he just kind of steps inside and tucks the door closed behind him.
Did I hear anything happening in the hallway? Did I hear him running in?
That was in the kitchen. He ended his turn by just opening the doorway. You probably wouldn't have heard it. Not over the sound of fighting and bears and...
Okay, fair enough. So, Kenna would feel very uncomfortable with how much damage she's taken. Also noticing that there's a second person in this room now. So would bonus action unicorn.
Okay.
And then...
So where do you put the unicorn down? Not that it matters all that much in this small room.
I'll just put him down on top of the stupid assassin man.
Okay. All of a sudden, the assassin man just just off to his side. There's just this glowing unicorn, big muscles, pink frills, and just goes, nay. And then he kind of looks at the assassin. He's like, gives him the head nod, hey.
Yeah, if only I could hear that, I'd know what that would mean.
Does he hear the nay?
You can do a perception check on your turn.
Right.
Okay. So then I am going to 4th level cure wounds myself.
Okay. Kenna whips out the big heal.
You could have bonus action scream for help, too.
I know, I thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Last turn she had to Shalala.
Shalala.
Please pause for Kenna math. Stand by.
Just reach one of those calculators with the really big buttons.
Shut up.
Or one of those old school like adding machines with the tape, and like.
Dear everyone listening, I count on my fingers.
Okay, so how much did you heal yourself for?
30.
Okay,
3.
so you raise your hands above your head and you say whatever you want to say for the heal. That's a very good incantation. You raise your hands and you go, and there's just this huge bloom of green energy, and you feel much better.
A lot better. I feel really good.
The assassin definitely like cocks an eyebrow and like, that's the weirdest spell incantation I've ever heard.
Just a distraction tactic.
Yeah, totally.
Yes! Almost reminds me of the American Dad, where he like learns to apply ointment, and he does that. That's Kenna's healing. Just constant screams of pain. Okay. Anything else you want to do in your turn?
I can't really do anything else.
Fair.
Yeah, so I'm not giving him opportunity.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Okay. So switches over to the assassin's turn now.
Mm-hmm.
So the other one is in the room with you as well. He's just kind of off to the side. You just put out another, just so everybody knows where he is. We'll make him a different color, and he'll be riding a horse. That's obviously not what's happening.
Come on.
Did he actually step into the room? Because I'd also told my bears to block the door.
He stepped into the. You told them to block him from leaving, not
Right,
block the
right,
door.
right.
They believed they had that by surrounding him.
Okay.
I mean, bears.
Fair.
Okay, so the assassin that just stepped into the room kind of like does that kind of like look around a little bit, and then he just looks over to the one that's already there and he goes, "Whoa, we're killing this chick?" And the guy kind of just turns and goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay." And he just walks over into this void here. Kind of comes around. Okay. Kenna, this might hurt a little.
Yeah.
They're both going to attack twice.
Yep.
And they can both sneak attack because they have an ally within a certain distance of you.
Cool.
Okay. Sorry, I just did the math in my head of how that could work out.
Yep.
Let's start with... First guy is... Okay, that is a 18 and a 14.
One hit, one miss.
One hit, one miss. Okay. Ooh, and both of those definitely hit. So that's 3 hits. Each one of them gets the poison roll, and each one of them gets the sneak attack.
I think you want to sneak attack once per turn.
Each one of them can sneak attack once per turn. Yes, sorry. So only one sneak attack per time. Not a sneak attack every time. But they can poison every time. I need 3 con saves.
15.
I suppose I can mark down the spell slot.
Okay, 15. The first is a success.
21.
Second one will be a success as well.
And a 25.
Okay. All of those succeed, by the way. So that's going to be that the first time. Second time is... That's that.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Please bear with me a moment. It's a lot of dice back here.
Feel really good about those guys.
So how's your first time being assassinated?
Oh, you know.
It's a pretty fun time overall.
It's a really good time. Yep.
Okay, and then each one of these is 5. So that is... Okay, so all of this is going to roll together, actually, so I have to add them together for your... Okay. Okay, so they both come forward, and the guy's like, yeah, we're just killing this chick, and the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, okay. and they both run up and they both go to stab at Kenna, and Kenna immediately, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You try to dodge as best you can. You do manage to panic dodge your way out of one of the attacks, but unfortunately the rest hit you. Yeah. And you take 51 points of damage.
Okay. We're still alive, guys. We're still alive.
I haven't rolled the sneak attacks yet.
Yeah.
That's 51 piercing so far?
Yeah. No, so it was 61, or 16 piercing and 35 poison damage.
Okay. Non-sneak.
And then I have to roll the 2 sneak attacks. These would all come in together, by the way, so unfortunately, I don't think your con save could possibly survive it at this point.
Well, it would be whatever one of the assassins did as a roll, whatever what the second one did as a roll.
That's true. It doesn't all come in together. It is 2 different attacks. Okay, that is... another 28 damage.
I'm down.
She is unconscious.
Okay. They both come in, they both stab, and really they just do like it's almost like a movie scene. They're both, Callie's like, and they're just like not Callie. Kenna is just like, and they're just like stab, and she's slowly dropping to the ground. And then her animals disappear, obviously. The bears wouldn't get to go next. Lazarus. I don't think there's any way you would miss Kenna's death screams.
Yeah.
I assume you scream.
Yeah, I definitely
So I suppose as my bonus action, the first thing I do is, I suppose, is where I'm standing now the biggest conduit of hallways, or is there somewhere on the way that's a bigger conduit?
So if you go out from where you are, that hallway eventually connects to that main open, opening room where the staircase is.
Okay. So Lazarus is going to turn down there and just shout, "Where?" down.
Where?
Like where?
Gotcha.
Warning.
Yeah.
And then he's just going to go burst into that room, I guess.
Okay. So you just scream that people need to beware, and then you run, you kick the door to the room open, and there you see the 2 assassins just kind of wiping their blades off as Kenna's just lying on the floor in a fairly substantial sized pool of her own blood.
So that's what I take in.
Yes.
I have an action.
Yes. And movement-wise, you're okay, because she was at a door, right next to the kitchen, so it only took you, 10 movement to get in there.
Okay. I think the first thing I'm going to do upon coming in and seeing them on top of Kenna is use Dragon's Roar.
Okay.
For the first time.
All right, Lazarus gets very mad and uses his Dragon's Roar, which is your lightning breath, yeah? Or no, that's the fear one.
It's the revised
right.
lightning breath, yeah.
Right. Read it out because you haven't used it.
Yeah, Dragon Fear consumes my breath weapon. It's a 30-foot radius of each creature of my choice. It's a wisdom saving throw made of the DC of my charisma. If I succeed, they auto-succeed if they can't see or hear me.
Okay.
They're frightened for 1 minute, and they can only rethrow during that minute upon taking damage.
They can only rethrow during the minute upon taking... Okay. And fear is the usual. They have to move away from you if they can. They can't directly engage
I'll
you.
double check if it has its own stuff.
Sure. In the meantime, I will roll their wisdom saves. So we'll say this die is the one that Kenna injured, and this one's the one that she didn't. And then it's a wisdom save, yeah?
Yeah. It's
okay. Sorry, what's the difficulty on that? Or actually, I'll just tell you what they rolled. They rolled a 9 and a 6.
Failed. Definitely.
Yeah. I feel like that.
It's
I
based
felt
on
like that was
charisma,
pretty...
so it's 16 for Lazarus.
Yeah, no, I felt like they probably both failed. So yeah, you just burst in through the door, and I don't know, whatever you want to scream for your...
It's just I literally can take the energy of that lightning breath and consume it just into pure forceful roar.
Okay.
So it's probably going to shake this room.
Yeah, it might even blow out a window or two.
Yeah, it just becomes frightened. I found it on my app.
Okay, and so it'll get the usual frightened, which we actually haven't done a frightened in a while, but frightened is just a frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight, and the creature cannot willingly move closer to the source of its fear. Okay, so they are both a furred. I mean, honestly, a giant, Dragonborn just bursts into the room, screams as loudly as he can, and is blocking the only exit. I mean, that's pretty terrifying, right?
They can't get closer to me.
No.
So I basically just start using the last of my movement to start slow walking them away from Kenna.
Okay, that sounds... So you're kind of going to start angling that way?
Yeah, so the door was here, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll be starting to move here in such a way that they can't move past me with fear.
Yeah, you're kind of trying to herd them away from Kenna. Okay, anything else you want to do with your turn?
No, that's all my actions.
Okay, so we will go back to the assassins. Again, they're feared. They very much are trying to, like, you can see there's that warring emotion with them, a little bit of, like, not wanting to leave the body till they finish the job, but they can't stay close to you. And both of them begin moving away, and they end up huddling in this far, close to me corner.
Over here?
Yeah, they move, like, all the way around you. They try to get as much distance from you as they can.
Okay, I guess these are all mine.
One of the guys, as they're both kind of cowering in that corner a little bit, his weapons are shaking. He's just kind of, don't you come any closer, man! I'm warning you! And yeah, that's their turn. Which takes us back to Lazarus. Kenna, we did go through your turn. I need a death save from you, please. Okay, that is a first pass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to complete walking an extra 5 feet.
Yep.
And just go, and just lay on hands, Kenna.
Okay. With your full lay on hands?
I'll keep 10, so she gets 25.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. And then I just go back over here for now.
Just kind of trying to block their access to the door?
Yeah, I'm letting Kenna get back up, and I'm holding them there for that 1 minute. I'll keep using my movement to just not let them do anything for that turn.
Okay, no, that sounds perfectly fine. So you're just kind of trying to angle there, give Kenna her time to recover. Kenna, it is your turn now.
It's my turn.
You obviously, like, you were sure you were a goner, and then out of nowhere you just kind of pop back to being alive. You're kind of like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Are you 5 feet away from them?
More than 5?
Yeah, he's more than 5.
You can ice knife him.
Yeah.
yeah, you can ice knife them.
I would like to ice knife them.
You also are still within my aura right now, so.
Yes.
All right, so you wave your hands and you weave the spell form for ice knife, and you say,
I need to, like, go home and plan things to say for my spells, clearly.
Give me anything you want.
Nice me, will you?
Doesn't have to be clever, it can just be functional. You can just yell ice knife.
I'll show you a real knife.
Alright, that's fine. And yeah, immediately that blade of ice forms and just fires off towards them. I think they have to roll for that one, right?
First one takes D10, and then they'll have to roll dex saves.
Okay, they'll both roll dex saves.
Just roll for hit on the first one?
Mm-hmm. These I want to hit. Oh.
Google thought I was talking to it. I'm not sure what in there made it sound like I was talking to it, but that's what it thought.
Virgin sacrifices.
No, that would have been a while ago I said that.
My actual. So I need to roll.
And don't worry, we'll get back to Nim and just here in a minute.
Which is going to. Yeah, it's a 24. So it's a 24 to hit.
That's definitely a hit.
And
so it takes a D10, right?
Yes.
So let's do that first.
And I was aiming for dude who like.
I assume
yeah. So he takes 9 damage from that.
Okay.
Mr. Red.
Yeah. And then.
And then it's a damage roll for the AoE as it explodes, I assume?
Yeah, so it's being cast at the 2nd level, so it's actually going to be 3d6
okay.
damage.
Sounds fine.
5.
Okay. So I got good news and bad news on that one.
Yeah.
So the blade goes out. It impacts the guy that had started the fight with you, and it pierces right through his shoulder, opens a big hole, and goes basically right through him and then explodes behind him and covers him in more shards of ice. Yeah. He takes the full brunt of it. The assassin that came in last successfully makes the dexterity save, and because of how evasive he is, he negates the damage of the explosion entirely. Okay. He just tumble rolls out of the way.
Okay.
Even with his disadvantage, he did fine.
Okay.
Because he does have disadvantage, or I think he has disadvantage on saving throws when frightened, or is it just...
Alright, so...
No, just ability checks, sorry.
So only the one that got hit gets the reroll to save.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So reroll the fear?
Yes, sorry, I will reroll the fear. So the one that got hit, he's going to reroll the fear. It's wisdom again?
Yeah.
That is 12.
Fail.
Okay, he is still very much afraid.
Also
yeah, he's about to be pounded to a pulp once last.
I mean, one should be afraid, right?
And then I'm going to use my movement to, like... I don't want to be out of your aura. Your aura is 10 or 5?
10.
Okay. So
You're okay where you are.
I will go.
Is she?
It should be a 10-foot. Or is it a...
She's not in the far corner. She's in the closer corner. So yeah, it's still within your aura. Okay. Because the auras do that weird box where the corner is missing. Yeah, and she's not in the missing corner. Okay, so yeah, you back out, and you're kind of just trying to angle yourself at the door a little bit as well?
Yeah.
Alright, both assassins, they can't reroll their fear, they can only be afraid, they can't move towards Lazarus, so they both kind of just have to huddle there.
Mm-hmm.
They both do, they put up a brave front, they're both kind of like there with the weapons up, and they're shaking, and they're like, "You're not gonna take us alive, man!"
That is the plan.
Yeah, and you can, so that's their turn, we're back to Lazarus.
Alright.
Trying to burn through the rounds quicker, because I want Dis and Nim to get some more before we do our next break.
Yeah, I can't really attack them from here, so I do have to step up.
You do, yeah.
Alright.
You gotta step up.
And yeah, I suppose I'll just pull out the old trusty hammer.
Old Faithful. Also, Kenna, you don't have Shillelagh on anymore.
No. Or animals. I'm sure my unicorn disappeared as well.
All of that.
That's gone.
Literally all of what you just described.
Yeah, I'm gonna club the red dude.
So the red dude. The one that was up first. Okay. Give him a swing.
Okay, better. Plus the hit again. 18.
That's a hit.
And second is 27.
That's definitely a hit. I mean, no, that clearly misses.
All right,
Come on.
We'll see how he looks after the first one here.
So first swing, does he roll to break the fear every time he's hit, or just once a turn when
just
he's
damage
hit?
taken.
Okay, all right. So I'll get ready to do that.
Yeah, I'll give him a level 1 smite to start.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
So he takes 6 bludgeoning.
6 bludgeoning.
And then 7 radiant.
And 7 radiant. Okay. So yeah, you come up, you give him the old 1-2 with the hammer. You come in from the top or the side. How do you want to?
Oh, that was the first.
How do you want to club him with the first hit?
The first hit was just more come up, and like I just do the thing where I come right up and I just like lean over first.
Okay, try to do the intimidating,
and then I just like bring up the hammerhead, just.
Okay, right up through the middle, like
just the
uppercut
quick
style.
without even like
wrapping
it.
Hence the lesser damage. It catches him right in the chin. His eyes kind of stumble back, and you see him kind of roll in his head a little bit.
I go up, and then I just grab it with the second hand, and then bring it back down.
Sure. In that brief interchange where it snaps his head up, and you're coming back down to hit him again, you do watch his eyes refocus on you, and there's less fear in them now. There's just anger now. He did succeed the save. He rolled 18 on the wisdom save.
How's he looking?
He's pretty hurt. Like, he's well beyond half. The hammer hit to the jaw alone probably has his jaw hanging a little loose.
I'll just club him normally, or do I want to smite again? Just normal hit. 8.
Okay. That is 8 damage.
Plunk.
Okay. Yeah, so you bring him back down. You do miss the head, though. When his fear breaks, he gets a little bit of his dexterity back, or at least that's what it kind of seems like to you. And he does manage to start to dodge your attack, so it only catches him in the shoulder instead of the head. You've completely messed up his arm now. It's kind of hanging loose in its socket, but he's not dead. And he doesn't seem afraid anymore so much as angry and almost dead.
And he's literally in the corner right now.
He's as cornered as he can be. Just kind of stand there with the intimidating lean
Well, actually, I
still
can
in
probably
there.
still leave him there just by being here.
Totally. Okay. That end of Lazarus's turn?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay, Kenna. So as I said, that guy's looking very, very hurt. The other guy's still pristine condition, but terrified.
Right. I'm really mad at these assassins. They don't always have some moves.
She's gonna bludgeon him to death.
Just walk up and club him non-lethal. Bonk.
He's really hurt?
He's very hurt.
I mean, you might miss, that's all.
But I might miss with, I have +8 to attack bonus, so yeah, sure, why not? Bonus action shillelagh.
Okay. Once again, the barbed wire shows up on Kenna's club. She's kind of got the Harley Quinn thing going. She just walks up with the bat.
16 to hit.
That is a hit.
You get that. You're listening.
How wise do you hit the enemy?
Master Roshi.
For 7.
For 7 damage, okay.
Magical bludgeoning.
You walk up, you club him. I'm going to say across the face.
Yeah, sounds good.
I mean, the dick did kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk up, barbed wire club, just smash him across the face, and he definitely, he almost falls over, but he manages to catch himself at the last second, but he's lost sight in one eye now. He's very much almost dead.
Okay.
It is his turn now. The other one can't do anything because he's still afraid.
Yeah.
But he's been blinded by the pain to his fear. Yeah, I think he's just gonna attack Kenna. Just under his breath, you hear him kind of, "Stupid bitch," and he takes his 2 attacks at you.
Okay.
They won't get the sneak attack or anything because his other buddy is essentially incapacitated, so sneak attack doesn't really work that way. It technically says it only doesn't work if it's incapacitated,
yeah.
but I'm like, if the guy's so afraid he can't even move, how could he possibly be lending assistance? That is a 10 and a 22.
One hit on this.
Okay, 1 hit. I need the con save for the poison.
24.
Okay.
29, isn't it?
Oh, Jesus.
29.
Oh yeah, 29.
Okay, you'll only take half damage. You didn't have to save it by that much.
I had to remind her she's in Lazarus' aura.
Well, Lazarus' aura. You gotta be ready for that. So you'll take 6 piercing damage.
Okay.
I'm not going to combine them because you don't need them for the con save anyway. So you take 6 piercing damage, and then because it's halved, you take 18 poison damage.
That's a good poison.
Yeah, definitely a good time to save. Though saving by 29 might have been a bit much.
Yeah.
Okay, where does that put Kenna? 1 health left. Okay. We're in a good place. Yeah, and he obviously, the first attack he does kind of misses because he's really wobbly on his feet, and as he kind of falls over, you get that moment where you kind of smirk at how hurt he looks, and that's when he gets you.
Mm-hmm.
When you lose concentration for that second, he gets you right up under the arm, through your armor, and into your chest.
Cool.
Leaving you with 1 HP.
Alrighty.
That'll take us to Lazarus. Yeah, that dude just eviscerated kind of right in front of you, in all defiance of your fear.
I can't believe it was half poison. He sucks.
Oh yeah, assassins are rough if you let those poison rolls just go.
Asuna.
Yeah, Asuna, get it! Cleanse the poison.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to non-lethally attack the red guy again.
The one that's very, very hurt?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And non-lethally crit him. I think he's unconscious.
Yeah.
I think that's just he just looked over at what he just did to Kenna, and Lazarus just reached over and just went...
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna do it this way because there's 2 of them. I want you to roll the crit table, and I'm gonna say you can't non-lethal the crit. So it pissed you off so much that Kenna almost died again. You go a little overboard. You've still got one more to non-lethal, it's okay. But just, I can't reconcile a crit turning into a non-lethal attack.
I approve.
I can't figure out how it works.
I was critically successful at knocking him unconscious.
I was so successful at that. I was even trying to think of, like, maybe I just blow both his arms off, but then I'm like, no, that dude's dead.
You'll live. You'll live to pay for your crimes. Head goes flying.
You'll learn to live with what you've done.
Isn't that what, like, Serial did? That fucking orc?
Basically.
Oh.
Okay, so it's the bludgeoning table. Roll the D100 first.
Where's my D100 hanging? 45.
Okay, 45 on the table gives us... Okay, the effect has a really good name, and I'm going to use it. But the effect itself won't apply because he's going to die when this hits him.
Can I demoralize the other guy further?
Well, see, the one that you rolled is called Shocking Violence. So I'm just going to say that you go in and you're like, Kenna! And you just like bludgeon the ever-living shit out of him. Like the first blow hits him in the head and he goes down in a heap. And then you just keep hammering the body on the ground until it's kind of a puddle.
Don't worry, I used Lazarus.
I know, but it got you in a moment of rage.
Stop hitting my healer.
Exactly, yeah. It's a little too much for Lazarus, and he kind of snaps for a second.
And then, like, after that, I want to, like, slowly straighten and then just go at the other guy.
Yeah. And like, it's technically Kenna's turn next, but that dude, as soon as you do that, like, he looks at the body, and he, like, looks at you.
That was just my first attack, dude.
I know. I'm just saying. Yeah. He looks at the body, he looks at you, and he's like, yeah, no, I surrender.
Okay, well then, without doing my...
Maybe a little.
All I do is pull out my 50 feet of rope and hand it to him.
Okay.
And then, actually, before that, like, if he's dropping initiative, then I grab his jaw and his mouth first, and I hold his mouth open and I check his teeth.
Check his teeth.
For cyanide and that sort of thing.
Oh, okay, so anything he might be hiding in his mouth.
I'm looking for a suicide tablet.
Okay, fair enough. So you reach out, you pull his jaw down, and we'll take our quick break there. Wow, what a cliffhanger. I wonder what's going to happen next time. Seriously, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening in. If you liked what you heard, share us with your friends. If you hated what you heard, share us with your enemies. Seriously, though, like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll find out what happens to Double Doubles and Dragons next time.